Welcome to today's Explainer. Today we're going to unpack a highly relatable and honestly kind of quirky habit that your Spotify Wrapped absolutely loves to expose at the end of every year. Have you ever noticed that you, or maybe someone you know, can just listen to a single song on a continuous loop for hours? Or, let's be real, maybe even days without ever getting tired of it? It's a wildly fascinating phenomenon. Today, we're diving into the underlying psychology of musical repetition. We're calling it the replay reflex.
All right, part one, the replay reflex. Let's get right into it. I want you to take a quick second and really think about your own listening habits. So do you play songs on loop? When you discover a new track that you absolutely love, do you wear it out by playing it like 50 times in a row? Or do you carefully sprinkle it into a larger playlist? Figuring out exactly where you stand on this is going to make the psychology we're about to uncover make a whole lot more sense. So there's this really fascinating divide here, kind of the central mystery of how we listen to music. On one side, we've got the repeater. This is the person who plays a single track on loop for hours or even days and, probably drives their friends completely up the wall on a long road trip. On the flip side, we have the constant mixer. This is the listener who constantly needs a fresh, evolving mix of new music just to stay engaged. Now, if you are a repeater, you've probably been told it's a weird habit, right? But as you're going to see, sticking to one track, it isn't a glitch in your brain. It's actually a highly effective psychological tool. Moving on to Section 2, Cognitive Focus and Flow. Let's define what we mean here. A flow state is that incredible, somewhat elusive zone of deep, uninterrupted focus. But how in the world does a looping song actually get you there? Well, it all comes down to metacognition. By repeating a familiar rhythm over and over, you're literally feeding your brain a predictable pattern. Because your brain already knows exactly what note is coming next, it doesn't have to burn extra energy processing the audio. Instead, it uses that familiar rhythm to actively shut out all other unpredictable outside distractions. It's an absolute masterclass of a brain hack. It turns out fast learners and highly efficient workers specifically use this trick to preserve mental bandwidth. Think about it. When you're trying to learn something complex or tackle a massive task, your brain needs all the cognitive energy it can get. By throwing a song on loop, you completely eliminate the micro-distractions of a changing playlist. No sudden shifts in tempo, no new lyrics to decipher, no jarring genre switches. That looping song acts like a buffer, preserving your mental bandwidth so you can channel 100% of your cognitive power straight into whatever you're working on.
That brings us to Section 3, Anchoring Deep Emotional States.
Our source material points out something really beautiful here. The brain connects specific melodies to deep-seated emotional memories. Just think about how powerful that is for a second. A melody essentially acts like a time machine. The moment you hear a specific sequence of notes, your brain instantly pulls up the complex, deeply rooted emotional memories that were forged the very first time that song really meant something to you.
So, when you're just smashing that replay button over and over again, you aren't just listening to a catchy tune. Actually, what your brain is doing is actively trying to prolong or re-experience that highly specific emotional state. Whether it's a feeling of profound sadness, a massive wave of nostalgia, or just an intense rush of triumph, the loop serves as an anchor. It gently but firmly holds you in that specific emotional moment for exactly as long as you need to be there, making sure the feeling doesn't just slip away.
Next up, Section 4, Building a Sound Shield.
Let's walk through this sequence to see how sensory habituation actually works as a vital coping mechanism. First, look around. We live in a loud, incredibly overstimulating world packed with unpredictable noises. Second, lots of us have highly sensitive minds that can get totally overwhelmed by all that chaotic sensory input. And third, the magic solution? A predictable audio loop. By bringing in a constant, unchanging sensory input, a sensitive mind can instantly regain control over its environment.
For highly sensitive folks who get overstimulated easily, a looping song is so much more than just music. It literally acts as a predictable, physical barrier of protection. Because the loop is completely predictable, your brain habituates to it. That basically means it stops consciously registering the song, but the audio remains just loud enough to drown out the chaotic, unpredictable noises of the outside world. You're basically building a safe, totally controlled audio bubble for yourself to exist inside of. And finally, Section 5, Why the Loop Matters. When you step back and look at all these mechanisms together, it really leaves you in awe of how incredibly resourceful and clever our brains actually are. Just to quickly recap what we've learned from our sources today. Hitting repeat on a single song does three massive things. Number one, it unlocks deep cognitive flow states by saving our mental bandwidth. Number two, it anchors our deep-seated emotional memories, letting us hold on to specific feelings. And number three, it builds a predictable sensory shield to protect sensitive minds from an overwhelming world. So hey, if you're a repeater, consider your habit completely validated. It is absolutely not a glitch, it's a masterful, multi-layered psychological tool.
So I'm going to leave you with this to chew on. Think about the song you are currently listening to on repeat. Based on everything we've just covered, what is your current looping song actively doing for your brain right now? Are you using it to focus, to feel, or to protect yourself? Let that just hang in the air for a moment and really think about it the next time you hit that replay button. Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer, and keep exploring the amazing ways your mind works.